So welcome to this podcast, How Pranic Healing Changed My Life. And I have the pleasure of being with Tina today. Thank you, Tina, for joining us. I'm so excited to hear your story. Again, these stories serve as inspiration to just show you the miracles and the gifts that can unfold in people's lives. And sometimes we're on a track and we think we got things figured out, and suddenly this beautiful thing happens, or sometimes even it could be through tragedy or through trauma, and your life takes a totally different direction. And we've just shared the most incredible testimonials in our podcast. So welcome, Tina. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited.
So I will share. I still remember our very, very first connection that we had. I was actually on safari in South Africa, and I think you had called and we didn't have very good signal, and you just reached out about wanting to find out about pranic healing. And it was so lovely because I was in just the most like magical place, and just to be still getting calls and text messages from people interested in pranic healing. But I just remembered you like so clearly. What actually prompted you to look for pranic healing, or what were you curious about in pranic healing that prompted you to connect with me?
So it had been the summer of 2020 when I had done the first virtual UPW with Tony Robbins. And I had been on this spiritual healing search, quest, journey, whatever you want to call it, for many, many years, just because of the childhood that I had had. Many traumas, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and just was on my own healing journey for many, many years. I never went to therapy. It was just something that I was so determined to live my best life. And in that, I always was seeking information. And I had been meditating for quite a while, but I wasn't getting out of it what I was hoping, in a sense of more of a spiritual connection. There was just something I was seeking, and I didn't know at the time what I was seeking. And then when I attended UPW, and on that very last day when Master Co came out, and I remember them introducing him as
I've already got
healer.
tools.
And I remember thinking, pranic healer, what is that? Because I knew nothing about energy healing. I had heard about Reiki, and just, I had no preface. So we do the Twin Hearts meditation, and I had the most magical experience that at the end, my daughter relays it as I was still like in a trance at the end, and that I stated, I am a pranic healer. I don't remember that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I'm literally, I've got goosebumps top to toe right now. Wow.
I still get teary-eyed because it was such a profound moment where I'm going to cry now, Nicole, you're making me cry, where I knew my life had changed. Like, not only was that weekend phenomenal, that 4 days, but I knew at the end that Twin Hearts meditation evoked something, and I connected with angels. It was just so magical that I remember thinking, I don't know what this is, but I need to find out about it. And so I started my journey following him and doing all the meditations, and I could see that, the prickliness was coming out, the things that I still needed to work on. I had done forgiveness work for 20 years. I had done so much work for so long, but the Twin Hearts meditation, I have such a love for St. Francis of Assisi. I had just been in Italy. I had just gone to his monastery where he was imprisoned. I had just gone to his tomb at Assisi. I've gone to mass in Assisi, and I have such a profound love for him that also evoked so much in me when I first did the Twin Hearts meditation. It just kind of all came together, all the journey, all the books, all the work. And then I just feel like Master Choa Kok Sui just has this bridge that just kind of takes you over. For me, it was a step into this just deeper, higher, amazing connection that I was longing for.
Do you know that there's actually a quote by Master Choa Kok Sui that says, pranic healing is the bridge to spirituality?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So that's exactly how I would describe it. That's just exactly how this journey has unfolded, because the book I bought, Nicole, I don't even know if you know this, I bought Super Brain Yoga and Achieving Oneness with the Higher, like I bought all these books on Master Co's website, not even knowing what those books were and what they meant. Some of them I didn't even open until after I took Pranic Healing, because it's like, I felt like they were so sacred and I wasn't ready for them yet. But I knew the journey was coming. And so, and then somehow I was looking, and I had done some classes that he does, like an introduction. And then I didn't really understand anything about the healing centers. And then I searched for your healing center, and then friends of, Twee and another friend had mentioned, you need to meet Nicole. You need to go take a class. And that's how that phone call when you were in South Africa happened. It just happened to have an evening with them and happened to bring it up. And
it's weird how the universe like kind of brings all these things in, and there's so many synchronicities of how things unfold. And I remember we connected when we came back. I think did you come in for a healing, or did you come in for meditation?
I didn't come in for a healing yet. I thought I met you when I just came to class, unless I did come to a healing first. I mean, I'm sorry, to a meditation first, but I thought it was just class. So I think it was just class, because I do remember walking in
and looking at the photo wall.
Not that.
Okay.
First, when I walked in, I had such an overwhelming sense I was home.
Wow.
I didn't expect to cry today, but yeah, I had such an overwhelming sense, because I love churches. Every time I'm in a new city, I always go to a cathedral and light candles. I always pray and bless all those in my life and those that have passed. And for some reason, it was different. It just was it was like, it was home to like this journey that I meant to go on. So it was
the energy of
really beautiful moment.
Yeah, the energy. And so many people say the same thing. They step in, like I had one client that walked in and said, I feel like I'm walking into like a sacred temple. And I mean, a sacred temple, like energetically, but it's still the most down to earth, relaxed, happy place where we have a good number of laughs and cries and dancing and all the stuff that we do at the center. But that was the one thing that really, in honor of the work, to just have such a sacred place with such a good energy, it literally is a home for pranic healers and anybody that's really wanting to get involved and really start the healing journey. So thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that either. So I'm learning lots. I mean, this was to inspire others, and I'm feeling so inspired. Thank you for sharing. And then, yes, I remembered you looking at the photograph wall and just seeing, and there were so many people we had in common that we knew, and now all the dots were joining and we were connecting. So you took your level 1 class. That was literally like not long ago, right? I mean,
no, it was July of last year. So it's literally, so it was a year from when I did UPW that I did Pranic Healing level 1. And now it's another year, and now I'm in the associate accreditation, and it's just, and obviously, I took as many classes as I could.
So from that first class, I mean, you really have been on an accelerated path going through all the different levels of pranic healing. What did that do for you? Like, what was what were you looking for? And did you find that? Like, what is the fuel behind you that's prompting you to do this?
So it's interesting because, I've been in the business world, I've been in sales my whole life. But I always had a drive or a passion to do something to help others. I just didn't know what that was. So, I regretted I didn't go to school for psychology. I always was considered the counselor among friends, the go-to person to, I think I've always had a really good connection with my gut. I think I've always had a connection with the divine in sense of it leading me to things. And so I was looking for some way to not only share the things that I've learned along the way and how I didn't allow circumstances to define me. And so it's how do I turn that? I love teaching. I love being able to share. And pranic healing just connected so many dots for me as far as what goes on within us, as far as our emotional body, our body, and that energy field that I knew nothing about just opened up a door to this whole concept of, oh my gosh, I have a way that I would be able to impact people to shift not only what's going on currently, but put them on, as we said, that bridge to their own spirituality. It's a beautiful culmination of wanting to really help people, but also hopefully maybe eventually teach. And who knows? I mean, I would love to be able to do retreats and to speak in businesses or women's empowerment group. I already have two invites to do some speaking and some healing at events. And it's just, I don't know, it's just unfolding as I've dreamed for years, but not knowing what that would look like.
And that's the beauty. You know, I've heard so many stories of people getting into pranic healing and having an idea of what they want, and it turns into something else that they couldn't have even dreamed, like, oh my gosh, this could be my life right now. And in terms of helping people, I know I'd taken many different classes in many different modalities. And when I got to pranic healing, I had that sense of, I'm home. Like, this feels like it covers everything. And that was the thing that really kept me going, because no matter what happens, whether it's a relationship issue, finance, mental, emotional, physical, pranic healing seems to just have the answers or the tools to help you work through all that stuff. It's such an, you know, all-encompassing modality that just covers so much stuff, and stuff sometimes that we're not even aware, you know, that we're going through. I was working with somebody the other day who was convinced they'd done all the forgiveness that they needed to do, and we started with our pranic healing tools and techniques, and just stuff flowed out, and just such great tools. If you were to look at, like, we're almost a year now since you've done your class, any highlights in your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, from a relationship point of view, from letting go of the past trauma as a child? How has that been impacted through pranic healing?
So the most beautiful thing is the inner peace. So between healing others, healing myself, and that is ultimately what I was seeking, is that peace. And I think so many of us women especially suffer from that busy mind, that monkey mind, as we call it. And that is what Twin Hearts has brought to me. And then also just all the culmination of everything that we learn in all the classes. I think inner peace is the number one, that I am so grateful I do not have that busy mind anymore, that I can actually say that I live like in peace pretty much most days.
And given where we are in the world right now, I mean, what a gift. And again, it goes back to that meditation on Twin Hearts, our foundation meditation, that, I mean, you walked into it so unknowingly and just had this like profound experience. And people are constantly just saying, wow, I can't believe how this meditation changed my life. And I remembered early on in my pranic healing days, I would say to clients, just do this meditation every day for 30 days and just watch the miracles unfold in your life. And it really is true. And it's so accessible. It's so easy. I mean, you just Google meditation on Twin Hearts and you'll either find a pranic healer or a center or an audio or a video or a Zoom recording somewhere. It's so accessible, and it's such a great self-help tool because it really just clears so much from your system. And to be able to say you're living in this day and age with inner peace, I think that is something so many people are striving for and don't know where to grasp it or how to attain it. And through such a readily accessible meditation and the tools of pranic healing, I mean, we know in psychotherapy, we can remove a lot of the thought forms of anger and stress and worry and fear and guilt and all the stuff we humans experience. a lot of that can just be cleared doing the meditation on Twin Hearts. So I love that story. That's just amazing. So you've been in this busy corporate world, and I sense we're feeling like a nudge to be doing pranic healing some more and the corporate stuff a little bit less. I think you've said your healing sessions, you've got so many people coming to see you. Just share this next chapter that's unfolding literally as we speak.
It's really exciting. And just to note, it is interesting that most of the people that have come to me wanting healing, most of them are all suffering from sadness because of what is going on in the world, or stress, anxiety. And we know anxiety is so high right now. Yeah. So I'm really full at the moment, that I actually have a little bit of a wait list because of juggling, which I'm happy to do. So yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. I definitely hope to eventually be able to leave the corporate world and to be able to make this my full-time love and career. So that's the direction that I would like it to go. It seems to be taking off. It's been amazing to watch the growth of the clients that I am working with, and whether it's ailments, psychological or physical, it's been pretty amazing. I unfortunately, have not fully finished some of the really complex cases. It's still ongoing, so I don't have. I do have a few like miraculous moments where I had a gentleman that had back surgery that wasn't moving, like literally was so depressed and he was in so much pain that he wasn't leaving his chair every day. And within, I think, the second session, his girlfriend couldn't get him to stop moving and going to functions and doing all that he was doing. So that was one of the first larger complex cases that I had worked on for a while, but it's just been really exciting. And I love getting these responses from the clients that are it's opening a world they didn't know about. And I love doing the Twin Hearts. I call them blissful affairs because I feel like they're just so blissed out after. I love that everyone's glowing after we do all these lovely things that we do and do the Twin Hearts. And those are amazing to get women tell me that they didn't know this side of them existed, and like they're just so open now to things that they just weren't before. I don't know, it's just really, really amazing to hear all the evolving, the growth that's happening.
Incredible. And all of this is unfolded in a year, and that's what gets me so excited with pranic healing. And specifically, even just with level 1 pranic healing, people leave that class already able to heal. And that is so empowering to be able to share these teachings with somebody over a weekend, and by Monday morning, they can take control and responsibility for their health and their well-being. And even that's where you started. It's where we all started. And a year down the line, even moving professionally and having a wait list, that is just amazing. So thank you for sharing your story. Oh my gosh, I had missed like pieces of that. So I'm so glad we got to chat. And
I don't know if you remember, that very first class was a pretty magical. It was a magical class for me. Just the others that were in that class going through the things that they were going through, and being able to connect and experience all the wonders that come out of that class was just so beautiful, and it will be forever engraved in my heart.
They always say,
thank you for providing that, Nicole.
You never forget your first basic pranic healing class. And I still remember mine so clearly. And you're right, it's so profound, it's so beautiful. And I say it with every class, the students that gather and connect, lifelong friendships form, and deep spiritual bonds, and almost like a soul recognition of, we've done this before, and just that coming home. Oh my gosh, amazing. So thank you for sharing your story, and you've definitely inspired me, and I can't wait to see the miracles unfold in your life and the clients that you're already working with. They're so blessed to have you.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Tina. Lots of love.